Welcome to Top Stories Today. Please subscribe and check notification box to get all breaking news alert. Breaking: Trump deploys military after catching Obama in massive act of treason. Shocking new information has broken the internet in recent days about the unbelievable acts of treason that Obama committed while in office. Last week, hardcore evidence emerged how Obama worked hand in hand with ISIS terrorists to secure massive amounts of weapons and arsenal to their terror group. Then immediately after that report surfaced, alarming information revealed how Obama turned a blind eye to Hezbollah's drug trafficking and money laundering operations in order to appease Iran and ensure his Iranian nuclear deal would be finalized. Now the floodgates of another Obama scandal is blowing wide open, involving the former president's disturbing ties to a Taliban crime ring, and now a furious President Trump is stepping with our military forces, as Trump's generals declare the gloves are off. Aiding and abetting the enemy of the United States is the textbook definition of treason, which is exactly what Obama did for the past 8 years. But in addition to emptying out Gitmo and putting Iran on a path to nuclear arms, we're now learning that Obama worked alongside the Taliban in Afghanistan to ensure that the terror group would become the world's top leader in heroin, where their enterprise is now generating billions of dollars for the terror group to carry out their operations against the West. The Taliban in Afghanistan has spent over a decade funding their operations from opium farms and their mass production of heroin. This was able to take place under the Obama administration, which refused to target their illicit operations. Obama allowed the Taliban to become the world's top producer of heroin, generating billions for the terrorist outfit, Conservative Daily Post reported. Watch the video.
And now to Afghanistan, where today the Taliban claimed responsibility for that brazen attack we told you about last night, a failed attempt to storm the largest NATO base in southern Afghanistan. Several coalition troops were wounded. The Taliban finances much of its operations by selling opium, which is grown from poppies, which are right now being harvested. So here's the question: why are American troops now helping Afghan farmers grow that opium? Nick Schifrin reports from Afghanistan on a controversial new policy.
In western Kandahar, poppy farmers score, till, harvest their crop, and the Americans do nothing to stop them. U.S. soldiers greet farmers.
Can you show me which poppy field is yours?
They commiserate with farmers having a bad harvest.
Tell him I'm very sorry for his field this year, and hopefully he has a better harvest next year.
And in one case, they even paid a farmer $1,000 after U.S. and Afghan special forces burned his crop.
If you can come down to the base on my next visit, I'll make a payment.
This is controversial. The opium trade is the Taliban's main source of funding.
Around here, this poppy isn't only a plant, it's the very basis of the economy here. Poppy grows everywhere in this area, and most of the farmers base their entire income for the entire season on this harvest.
And that's why soldiers ignore and encourage the farmers. If the U.S. burned their crop, farmers would blame the U.S. for their poverty and turn toward the Taliban. I'm not going to lie to you, this farmer says. If my poppy were destroyed, I would be very angry.
If we secure them having a good harvest, now they're going to get paid for all their hard work, and then we can deal with the trafficking afterwards.
And that is the new U.S. policy. After farmers get paid, try to capture drug traffickers. These troops have confiscated 10,000 pounds of opium before the profit reached the Taliban. One day the U.S. hopes to convince farmers to choose legal crops. Until then, the seeds of the insurgency will continue to grow in these fields. Nick Schifrin, ABC News, Kandahar.
Now President Trump is going to war and deploying our military in an attempt to undo the massive drug enterprise that Obama actively supported by targeting their revenue stream and attacking their opium refining labs. In light of this stunning information, Trump's military general said the gloves are off as Obama's treasonous alliance with these Taliban drug cartel members are being exposed. Since November 20th, U.S. troops and their Afghan allies have been targeting the Taliban jihadists' opium business in their Helmand stronghold, the top poppy-producing province in Afghanistan, Breitbart reported. The U.S. NATO coalition in Afghanistan has pulverized 25 Taliban labs used to process opium and its deadly heroin derivative, depriving the narco-jihadists of $80 million in illegal drug proceeds in the first 3 weeks of an unprecedented counter-narcotics air campaign. Watch M142 HIMARS conduct an artillery strike on a Taliban narcotics production facility in Helmand province December 8, destroying nearly $1 million in direct Taliban revenues. In the face of this pressure, @Commander_RS said, the Taliban cannot win. Obama's illicit Taliban drug ring is only the beginning of scandalous information emerging this week. We all knew of Obama's backroom deal to put Iran on a path to nuclear weapons, but according to new breaking scandal, Obama was willing to do whatever it took to finalize the Iran nuke deal, even if it meant putting the lives of every single American at risk. Dennis Michael Lynch reports, according to Politico, the Obama administration turned a blind eye to Hezbollah's drug trafficking and money laundering operations, some of which were unfolding inside the United States, to help ensure the Iran nuclear deal would be finalized. A project led by the Drug Enforcement Administration, known as Project Cassandra, reportedly targeted the Lebanese militant group's criminal activities, which included gun and drug tracking equal to $1 billion. But by tossing a string of roadblocks holding back the project, Obama administration officials helped Hezbollah to grow into a major global security threat bankrolling terrorist and military operations, the report added. In conducting its report, Politico spoke with former Obama administration officials who were involved with the anti-Hezbollah efforts. They claim Obama and his team stopped the U.S. task force from bringing down the criminal network. When Project Cassandra leaders sought approval for some significant investigations, prosecutions, arrests and financial sanctions, officials at the Justice and Treasury Departments delayed, hindered or rejected their requests. Political commentator and syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer said in light of these startling new details, that Barack Hussein Obama needs to be immediately arrested for his crimes against America. If a company did this, a CEO would be in jail right now, he stated on a recent segment on Fox News. Thanks to Obama, not only has ISIS risen to power with the massive stash of American weapons they now have at their disposal, but the Taliban now has a multi-billion-dollar heroin enterprise they're now using to fund terrorism against the West. It's time for President Trump to crack the whip and go after Hussein Obama with a vengeance, and show the world what happens to traitors who sell us down the river in order to further the cause of Muslim terrorists who have vowed to kill us. What do you think about this? Please share this news and scroll down to comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Top Stories Today.